welcome to our first Q&A. I'm Tony,
I'm Mark.
and we're here with Urban Survival Craft. We've received a few questions, and I think that we have a few that are well worth addressing in this conversation. With winter right around the corner from us, we're going to be doing wilderness first aid courses, and I think this is one of those broad spectrum classes that a lot of different types of people might appreciate, regardless of whether you're into the wilderness survival genre or not. So this is what we're going to be discussing a little bit today, and some other things that might come up on the fly. Mark, I know you do a lot of stuff with the Boy Scouts, and we're going to be doing the wilderness first aid courses with them. And that's always been an appeal. In fact, there was that one trip that we did with the, or rather that one class that we did with the Sea Scouts, that they couldn't go on their trip without the certification.
Right.
That that was a very cool sounding trip, but I think that the average person can benefit from this as well.
Well, yeah, wilderness first aid is one of those things. It's first aid. At the end of the day, it's first aid. It puts you in a scenario where emergency response is going to be a little further away than would be typical on a normal day.
Right.
So on any given day, you can expect anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes for EMS to get to us. But the wilderness first aid course sort of sets you up so that it's not really a 5 to 10 minutes. It could be 20, 30, or even more. And you have to be a little bit more creative and a little bit more self-sustaining. So it's a wonderful way to take a first aid course and put yourself in an environment where it's a little more challenging for the individual.
Well, in the case of the Sea Scouts, they're going to be bouncing from island to island, camping on the island, so if they had an emergency, it might be a day or so.
Well, they were actually going to be on a ship, and so they sail out on a high adventure, which is 10 days on the water, and that's anything could happen at any time. They could be far away, requiring Coast Guard to come get them. They definitely had to be a little bit more self-sustaining.
Well, what I love about this course is not only that you're actually learning how to use the equipment and stuff that you bring with you, but I love the improvisations. So one of the big appeals to me on that course is that aspect of it. And it allows you to be a hell of a lot more self-reliant. And should you not have the adequate gear, or should you run out of it, or should you misplace it, or whatever, that improvisational element, I think, brings a lot to the table. And that I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, well, the improvisation stuff is cool, and when you look at it from a wilderness point of view, it's neat that you can make a litter or make some kind of way to carry somebody and use some other techniques, pioneering techniques, tying some ropes, doing some stuff to make a splint on the fly with trees and vines and whatnot. That's always a cool thing to just know how to do, right? It's just kind of interesting to have those. But in the urban world, also, I think we teach a lot of stuff too that's a little bit out of the ordinary, and little quick tricks and things from just common stuff that you might find around in a room, how to make a quick tourniquet on the fly, or other sustain the neck, for a possible head injury. So there's a lot of other things that, in a case like the ones that Urban Survival Craft will put on display, where we teach little hat tricks, shall we call them, to help you be able to take care of things quickly when you don't have a full kit by your side, which is not common, right?
Well, listen, with Hurricane Helene just past us, I mean, we're seeing where a lot of that stuff might apply, and it's not truly a wilderness setting, but it is quite austere. I mean, I think you said it best when you said it's not that you end up in an austere situation, but the austere situation comes to you.
Correct.
And that kind of really sets forth a reality that should you find yourself in a situation that is austere in nature, that you're well prepared for it. So I guess the wilderness can mean a lot of different things to different people.
Yeah, but even then, in the best of cases, no matter how well prepared you are, the situation doesn't always take place in the perfect scenario. I think that emergency personnel has the caveat of arriving with a full truck of equipment ready to deal with a scene that they were called to. For us, in a situation like what you're just talking now, poor people up in North Carolina who are dealing with the situation after the hurricanes, guy's out there cleaning up his yard, trying to fix something, he's on a ladder, he falls, gets hurt. It's not like the EMS kit and all the trauma medication, everything was sitting right there next to him at the base of the ladder, that might have been somewhere in a room or somewhere else, where someone's going to have to go and get that equipment.